Okay, let's unpack what has been a truly relentless week in AI. I mean, even trying to switch off for a bit, the sheer volume of significant news.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a rapid fire, nonstop developments.
Definitely. And for you listening, trying to make sense of it all, it probably feels like a constant deluge.
It can, yeah. So in this deep dive, we've tried to filter out, the noise, bring you the essential update.
Right, the ones that will really give you a clear picture of what's happening without hopefully overwhelming you.
Exactly.
Think of this as your shortcut, sort of, to understanding the AI news that really matters this week.
We're looking at major new models, foundational stuff.
Uh-huh. Things shifting the landscape, and also innovative features popping up in AI tools you might already be using.
Yeah, plus some fascinating examples of AI finding its way into new, sometimes surprising applications.
Okay, so where do we start?
Let's dive straight into what many are calling the headliner, Meta's launch of Llama 4.
Llama 4. Right, the scale of this thing is just, staggering, especially that Llama 4 Scout version.
Yeah, the 10 million token context window. 10 million.
What does that even mean in practical terms? It's hard to grasp.
Well, what's truly remarkable about that for you is the sheer amount of information it can process at once. Think about it like this. 10 million tokens. That's roughly 7.5 million words.
7.5 million words.
Yeah. It's about the same length as, 94 novels.
Hmm?
Imagine feeding an AI that much text and asking it questions.
Okay, that paints a picture. It's like having this incredibly powerful research assistant that's instantly read a massive library.
Precisely. And they didn't stop there, did they?
No, we also saw Llama 4 Maverick, smaller context window, only 1 million tokens.
Still huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, smaller than Scout.
Yeah.
But Maverick has more parameters.
Right, and parameters are sort of like the model's stored knowledge, yeah.
Kinda, yeah. The complexity it can handle. And then there's the rumor of Llama 4 Behemoth.
Behemoth. Coming soon, apparently. With a massive 2 trillion parameters.
That's the number floating around, which, if true, could potentially position it as, the largest model out there.
Bigger than Google's Gemini 2.5, even.
Potentially, yeah. It really signals this trend, right? For you, seeing these context windows and parameter counts ballooning, it points towards AI models becoming way more capable, more contextually aware.
And the potential impact in fields like, I don't know, deep research or analyzing huge amounts of text.
Absolutely. Tackling really complex problems that need that breadth of understanding.
Now, Llama 4 is being called open source, but I heard there's some debate, some nuance there.
Uh-huh. That's an important distinction for you to understand, actually.
Yeah.
Meta is making it widely available, yes.
But
there are conditions. If your tool built on Llama gets over 700 million active users, you need to talk to Meta directly.
Okay, a usage threshold.
Right. And any new models derived from Llama have to include Llama in the name.
So naming conventions and scale limits.
Exactly. Which means it doesn't quite fit, the purest definition of open source for some people.
And that's sparking discussion in the community about what open really means now.
Definitely. It matters for you because it affects who can freely use and build upon this pretty powerful tech without potentially hitting those limits or requirements.
Got it. And beyond just size and the open source question, they're also working on a reasoning model within the Llama 4 family.
Yes, which seems to be a growing trend. Models that don't just give an answer, but can, show their work, explain how they got there.
That seems useful.
For you, yeah, models that can articulate their reasoning offer more transparency. It can be really valuable where trust and understanding the why is crucial.
Okay, but back to Llama 4 Scout, the big one. Its benchmark performance was apparently really impressive, especially on that needle in a haystack test.
Right. It supposedly hit 100% accuracy.
100%? What does that test actually show?
So to really get what that means for you, the test checks if a model can find one specific piece of information, the needle buried inside a huge amount of relevant text, the haystack. Scout getting a perfect score up to that huge 10 million token context suggests it's exceptionally good at pinpointing specific details in vast data sets.
So you could use it to find, one specific clause in tons of legal documents, or a key fact in years of research papers.
Exactly that kind of application.
Yeah.
Super fast information retrieval from enormous amounts of text.
Although you mentioned its video performance wasn't quite as stellar.
Yeah, that was noted. But here's where things got really interesting. The controversy that popped up around its real-world performance.
Yes, the whistleblower claims.
Right. Now, this is where being critical is key for you listening. An anonymous claim allegedly from someone inside Meta's AI team.
What did they claim?
They suggested Meta might have, let's say, influenced the benchmark results during post-training, tweak things to artificially inflate how good Llama looked on those specific tests.
So essentially teaching to the test, optimizing for the benchmark data itself.
That was the accusation. Now, Meta's Ahmad quickly pushed back.
What was their explanation?
He said the variations in quality some users were seeing were more likely down to implementation issues. Basically, people still figuring out the best ways to actually use the new model effectively.
So user error or optimization challenge is not deliberate benchmark gaming.
That's Meta's position.
Yeah.
And it really highlights something important for you. The difference between controlled benchmark tests and messy real-world use.
Benchmarks give you a number, a comparison point.
Right. They offer a standardized way to compare models.
Yeah.
But they don't always perfectly predict how a model will behave out in the wild in all sorts of different situations.
And this seemed to play out on the Llama Arena leaderboard too, right?
It did, quite visibly. Llama 4 initially shot up to number 2, just behind Gemini 2.5 Pro.
Wow, impressive debut.
But then its ranking dropped significantly, both Maverick and Scout.
Ouch. Why? What happened?
Well, what's particularly insightful for you here is the statement LM Arena put out afterwards. They clarified that the Llama 4 Maverick version that initially got submitted and ranked so highly, it was an experimental, customized model optimized for human preference.
Wait, so not the public version?
Crucially, no. It wasn't the same version Meta actually released to the public.
Ah, that's a pretty big deal.
It is. And this discrepancy is vital for you to be aware of. It really underscores how complex evaluating these AI models can be. And the potential differences between benchmark scores and what you might actually experience as a user.
It raises big questions about transparency in these evaluations.
Exactly. So for you, it makes you wonder, was that initial excitement about Llama 4's performance maybe based on a souped-up version you can't even access?
Food for thought.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears. Microsoft, they just hit their 50th anniversary, which is amazing.
Quite the milestone. And yeah, they had some notable AI news, especially around Copilot.
Right, Copilot. What's new there?
A big one that will directly impact your experience is memory. If you agree, Copilot will now remember details from your past chats.
Like
things like maybe your pet's name, projects you're working on, fitness goals you mentioned, those kinds of personal details.
So it learns about you specifically, your preferences, your context.
Exactly. What this means for you is that Copilot could become a much more tailored, much more helpful assistant over time. It remembers what you care about.
That makes sense. More personalized AI.
It aligns with this broader trend in AI assistants becoming more context-aware, more user-specific. They also mentioned other recent Copilot additions, like vision and voice modes.
Who can see and hear now, too, expanding its inputs.
Yeah, making it more versatile for you.
And then there was that Quake thing, an AI-generated version of the classic game.
Yes, using Microsoft's Muse AI model. The core idea is wild.
Yeah.
Every single frame of the game is generated by AI in real time as you play.
Whoa. That sounds computationally intense and futuristic.
It is. What's technologically fascinating for you here is that real-time synthesis of visuals based on your actions. Now, it didn't get universal praise initially.
No. What was the reaction?
Some game developers were quite critical. Someone even called it disgusting, I think. It definitely sparked a debate about AI's role in creative work.
But then John Carmack, the original Quake creator, he defended it.
He did, which was interesting. He kind of put it in a historical context, how new technologies often disrupt creative fields at first.
Like synthesizers in music or digital cameras in photography.
Yeah, exactly. And he argued AI could actually empower creators, especially smaller teams, free them up from grunt work to focus on higher-level design and ideas.
That's a valuable perspective for you to consider, especially if you're in a creative field. New tools might seem threatening, but they can also democratize things.
Precisely. It's a key point for the future of game development and other creative industries.
Okay, moving along. Google. They had their big Google Cloud Next event.
Yep. And unsurprisingly, AI was front and center.
What did they announce for, say, Google Search?
They're expanding the AI mode in search, promising it'll be better making comparisons, giving you step-by-step how-to instructions, and handling those longer, more open-ended, complex questions you might have.
Trying to make search more conversational, more capable.
Seems like it. And a particularly useful update for you could be the new image search capability.
Searching with pictures.
Yeah. They showed an example. Take a photo of some books you like, and Google finds similar, highly rated titles for you.
Oh, that's neat. Could be great for discovery based on visual stuff.
Right. It enhances how you can find information, connecting the visual and text parts of the web more intuitively.
They also teased something called A2A, agent-to-agent protocol. Sounds technical.
It does, but the idea is interesting for you. It's designed to let different AI agents communicate and collaborate on their own, autonomously.
So AI bots talking to other AI bots to get stuff done?
Kind of, yeah. The potential is for ecosystems of specialized AI agents working together on complex tasks without constant human hand-holding.
Like, I ask one AI to plan a trip.
And behind the scenes, maybe one agent books flights, another finds hotels, another suggests activities, all coordinating automatically. That's the sort of potential.
Okay, that is interesting. Definitely one to watch.
For sure. We'll keep an eye on A2A.
And for people using Google Workspace Docs, Sheets, meet what's new there.
A whole bunch of AI features got announced. There's an audio feature in Docs, a bit like Notebook LM.
For transcription or analyzing audio?
There's a Help Me Refine tool in Docs for improving your writing. Enhancements to AI in Sheets for data analysis.
Okay.
And Gemini features are coming to Google Meet for things like summarizing meetings automatically or answering questions about what was discussed.
Right, so trying to streamline your daily workflows, that Help Me Refine sounds potentially useful for saving editing time.
Exactly. These integrations aim to embed AI right into the productivity tools you use every day, making things more efficient.
Yep.
That audio feature in Docs could be great for you if you work with voice notes or interviews.
And on the more developer-focused side, Vertex AI.
Yeah, their machine learning platform got a load of new capabilities too. Things like editing and camera control in V2 for video, Chirp 3 for generating audio, Imagine 3 for text-to-image generation, and something called LIIA for text-to-music.
Wow, they're really covering the whole spectrum of AI applications, video, audio, images, music.
It seems so. This expansion of Vertex AI really underscores the growing demand for these specialized AI tools across different media formats. It empowers developers and businesses to use cutting-edge AI for a much wider range of tasks.
Okay, let's talk OpenAI. There was buzz about them maybe skipping straight to GPT-5, but that changed.
Yeah, it seems their plans shifted a bit. They're now planning to release some interim mini models first.
Mini models, like O3 Mini and O4 Mini.
Exactly. Before the full GPT-5 launch.
Why the change?
Well, the thinking seems to be they want to give users ongoing updates, but maybe GPT-5 development is taking longer than they thought, which could suggest it's going to be a really significant leap when it does arrive.
So keeping the momentum going while the big one cooks?
It seems like it. But they did roll out a new feature, similar to Microsoft Copilot memory in ChatGPT.
Ah, yes.
More memory.
It's a big step for conversational AI for you. ChatGPT can now remember stuff from your past chats, if you allow it.
Which means?
It can give you more tailored responses, more contextually relevant answers over time because it knows you better.
And you actually tried this out, right? Asked it to describe you?
I did, just based on our previous chats. And honestly, it came up with a surprisingly accurate description. It remembered specific details, even my dog's name, some niche interests.
Wow. That level of personalization could really change how you interact with these things.
Totally. It highlights the potential for AI to develop a more nuanced understanding of us as individuals, which leads to, more engaging, more helpful conversations. Remembering past context opens up more complex long-term dialogues.
Okay, what about Anthropic? They make the Claude model.
Right. They made news by introducing new max plans for Claude.
Max plans, so higher tiers. Exactly. For users who need to use Claude a lot more, they offer significantly higher usage limits than the current Pro plan.
And presumably cost more.
Yes, the pricing reflects those higher limits. It caters to power users.
Any word on the next version of Claude?
Yes, Anthropic's chief scientist mentioned we could probably expect Claude 4 within the next 6 months.
Claude 4 within 6 months, so they're keeping pace too.
Seems like it. Continued advancements on their main model.
Now, for content creators, especially YouTubers, something about AI music.
Yeah, YouTube is rolling out a new, free AI music-making tool.
Free AI music.
For creators to generate royalty-free background music for their videos. This could be a really big deal for them.
Huge. Sourcing good, affordable, royalty-free music is always a challenge.
Exactly. This could save creators a lot of time and potentially money.
Yeah.
And having it integrated right into YouTube makes it super accessible for you if you create content there.
Nice. And video editors weren't left out either. DaVinci Resolve.
No, DaVinci Resolve 20 just launched, and it's packed with new AI features. Things like automatically aligning video clips to a script, an improved magic mask tool for isolating objects, AI voice training, even AI-generated voiceovers.
Whoa, AI voiceovers built in. They're really leaning into AI to boost efficiency.
Definitely. It reflects this growing trend in professional creative software, using AI to automate tedious tasks, improve precision, and maybe unlock new creative options. It's all about empowering video editors.
And more AI video generation tools popped up too.
Yep, Runway launched Gen 4 Turbo, promising faster AI video generation.
Faster's always good.
And Amazon unveiled something called Nova Reel. It can apparently generate AI videos up to 2 minutes long now.
2 minutes. That's getting quite substantial.
It is. It really feels like the quality and capability of these AI video models are improving rapidly. Both speed and length are getting better, making it more practical for you to maybe use this stuff.
Okay, let's shift to tools more specifically for coders and developers. What's new there?
Well, Together AI released DeepCoder 14b. It's an open source model specifically focused on coding reasoning.
Open source.
Yes, and importantly, they didn't just release the model. They also shared the dataset it was trained on, the code, and the training recipe.
Oh, that's really open. Why is that significant?
It's incredibly valuable for the open source AI community. It lets others really understand how it was built, replicate it, learn from it, and build on it. Fosters more innovation.
Gotcha. What else for developers?
The Gemini API, that's Google's way to access their models, got several updates. New 2.5 Flash and Pro Live APIs.
Making the latest models available.
Right. And also V2 for video generation through the API. So developers can now integrate Google's video AI into their own apps more easily.
Useful if you're building something video related.
Definitely. And another interesting one, Grok now has an API available for their Grok 3 system.
Grok, they're known for super fast AI hardware, right? Low latency.
Exactly. Their hardware is designed for speed. So having an API means developers can now tap into that Grok performance for their own AI tools and platforms.
Which could lead to faster, more responsive AI applications.
Potentially, yeah. Especially for tasks where that speed is really critical.
Okay. And GitHub Copilot, the AI coding assistant.
It got an upgrade too, a new agent mode.
Agent mode, meaning it can do more complex tasks autonomously.
That seems to be the idea, yeah. Handling more of the coding process for you. And it also added support for something called MCP, Multi-Cloud Protocol.
MCP, what's that?
Think of it like a standard language or protocol that makes it easier for large language models, like Copilot, to connect and talk to external APIs and tools.
So making it easier for AI agents to use other online services.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
It simplifies integrating with external capabilities, expanding what the AI agent can actually do.
And is this MCP thing catching on?
It seems like it might be. We saw 11 Labs, the voice AI company, release an MCP server so LLMs can interact directly with their service.
Okay.
And DeepMind announced they'll be supporting MCP for their Gemini models soon, too.
So MCP could become a kind of standard for how different AI systems communicate and work together.
It looks like it's heading that way. A move towards greater interoperability for AI agents, which could enable much more integrated and versatile AI workflows for you down the line.
Okay, fascinating. Finally, let's touch on AI in business and maybe some more emerging futuristic tech.
Sure. On the business side, WordPress announced a new AI-powered website builder.
AI building websites on WordPress, that could impact a lot of people.
Potentially, yeah. And maybe even more significantly, the CEO of Shopify made a pretty strong statement.
What did he say?
Essentially, directing the company to prioritize using AI over hiring new people for certain tasks where possible.
Wow. That's a big strategic shift. Prioritizing AI over headcount growth.
It's a very strong indicator, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of a kind of transformative impact some businesses expect AI to have on their operations and workforce strategies.
Definitely signals how seriously companies are taking AI's capabilities.
And then in emerging tech, we saw Amazon's Zoox robotaxis expanding their operations in Los Angeles. Self-driving cars becoming more real.
Yep. And Samsung's Bally Robot, the little rolling ball AI companion.
It's apparently finally launching, after being shown off at CES ages ago.
Ah, I remember that. Bally is coming.
And maybe most sci-fi. Kawasaki showed off a concept for a rideable robot called Choreo. Mostly CGI for now, but
A rideable robot, like mecha style.
kind of look that way. Points to the wilder future applications of AI and robotics.
Okay. Wow. That was a lot to cover in 1 week.
It really was.
Just summarizing all that. The sheer scope and diversity of these AI advancements is pretty astonishing.
It truly underscores how fast and how broadly this field is evolving. We've seen huge leaps in the basic models, really useful tweaks to the tools we use, and AI creeping into all sorts of industries.
So, for you listening, some key takeaways might be, well, the immense potential of these giant context windows, right?
Definitely. And the ongoing important discussions around how we actually evaluate these models fairly. That benchmark transparency issue is crucial.
Yeah. Plus, all the new AI tools hitting content creation, software development, pretty much everything.
And just the increasing integration of AI into, business strategy and maybe soon our everyday physical world with robots and assistants.
It leads to a really interesting question for you to maybe chew on.
Yeah.
With context windows getting this big 10 million tokens, what completely new ways might you imagine interacting with information? How could that change how you learn or research?
That's a great question. Or, thinking about that benchmark debate, how will you approach evaluating new AI models you come across? How much do you trust the numbers versus real-world feel?
Definitely some important things to think about. If any one of these topics we covered really sparked your interest, Llama 4, Copilot's memory, the AI video stuff, we definitely encourage you to dig deeper.
Look them up, read the announcements. The pace isn't slowing down.
Not at all. The landscape is constantly shifting.
And we'll keep bringing you these deep dives, trying to help you stay informed and make sense of it all.